Alright, what's going on, everybody? It is Sunday, it's like 2:30 in the afternoon, the day after Snowmageddon, what we all thought was going to be super, super bad, and it might have been bad for you. Let me know. We were expecting to get 18 inches or so, and we got like 7.5 inches. But it is, and it has been sleeting for a while. Pretty cold out. It's going to be turning into freezing rain here shortly. Snow's bad, don't get me wrong. Be safe. Don't be driving around if you don't need to. It's common sense. But it seems like everybody drives around in the snow more so than in the middle of the summer, which doesn't make sense to me. But the ice, it's going to pour down lines. It's going to pour down limbs. There's going to be power outages for people. And make sure you have your backups, your heat, your light, a way to cook your food, things like that. But I would take this weather that we're having right now as an experiment to see how prepared you are for a bigger catastrophe. Let's say, if the power does go out for an extended period of time, do you have a way to produce it? And how prepared are you? Myself, I have a generator. It's been sitting for a while, and after work yesterday, I tried to start it just to make sure, and it wouldn't start. So I, replaced the gas. The gas has been in there for a while. Bad gas. Carburetor was totally gunked up. Simple fix: take the carburetor off, clean it. But do you have the things to clean your carburetor with? Do you have carb cleaner? Do you have spare gaskets for it, spark plugs, things like that? Just because you have a generator, take it from me, it doesn't mean you're 100% prepared, and especially if you don't let it run and replace the gas like you should. I didn't, it's been, 6 months since I started it. And yeah, simple fix for me though. Luckily it wasn't too bad. That's another thing I saw. All the stores, no generators, no fuel, no lanterns. You guys should have had the things beforehand. Everybody should be prepared for at least a couple days. But what happens every snowstorm, it doesn't matter if it's 10 feet or a half an inch, people run to the store and they buy up everything that they think they might need, and then you have resellers going in and buying it all and jacking up the prices. So buy it off season, so when the season comes to have it or need it, you won't need it, or you won't have to go buy it. But yeah, that reminds me, there was like a 70-year-old lady in the camping section at Walmart. We went Thursday or Friday, one of the 2 days. We went for normal groceries, and I walked around just to see what was missing. And like I said, it was all the propane tanks were missing, all the heaters, lanterns. But I saw that one lady, and she was in the camping aisle, and she was holding the last lantern, and it was a battery-powered one. And she looked so distraught, just looking so depressed looking at that, and I felt really, really bad for her. Because everybody hoards everything. No matter how much snow we get or how little snow we get, people freak out and they panic buy. It is that Black Friday mentality of it's all about me. And I want you to magnify that and multiply that by 100 or 1,000 or whatever, how many people that you live near. What's going to happen when there is a big scenario that happens? If it's not just a snowstorm. Look at the pandemic. Look at the toilet paper thing. Everybody laughs about it, but the toilet paper part about it was funny. But considering like food and water and stuff like that, nobody looks out for anybody anymore. So you need to be aware of that, and you need to stock up now and be prepared for things that are to come, because they eventually will come. It's not fear mongering. It's just looking at the world and seeing what's going on. Renee Chick, she got shot, and then another guy got shot yesterday in Minneapolis, and the left is going crazier than they normally are. I was watching a live streamer, and he was sitting in his car, and somebody came in and just started punching him, and he jumped out and defended himself. And then another guy jumped on him too, so it was 2 against 1, and I don't know if he got the crap beat out of him or he defended himself or what, but he got back in the car. He was all bloodied up, big old knot on his head, His teeth were bleeding, his lips were bleeding, and out of nowhere, I think what I think is they think that he was a right-wing streamer. I can't remember his name. It's with a W. I do know that, but yeah, they beat the shit out of him for literally just filming. The left is getting crazier than ever here lately, and I knew something like this was going to happen eventually. I didn't know if it was going to be ICE or whatever, but I knew, like the George Floyd stuff, man. A cop kills a person, everybody goes crazy, especially if it's a minority. And now they're getting the war drum is beating for, you know, revolution, and whether it's planned or whatever. The left wants chaos. That's what I see. They want no borders. They don't want the way that we have it right now in this country. They want socialism. They want, you know, fascism. That's what they're brainwashed to believe that they want. You have to prepare for people that want that, and they'll get it any way they can, which if that means hurting you, they'll do that. So not only the storm, learn from these two things that are going on right now. Somebody died, the left goes crazy. They are, you know, luckily it's cold outside, and even though a lot of people did show up, could you imagine if something like that happened in the summertime where it's nicer weather, I guess, to protest? There's a lot going on right now in this country. You need to understand that. You need to understand that your liberties are at stake within your own state and federally. You need to understand that your safety is at risk with the left, more so than the right. And yeah, there's nutcases on both sides, but the argument that I hear from the left of why certain things are justified, and like there was one guy, he's talking about we need to use, even senators are talking about it, how they need to rise up and have the National Guard go against the federal government. These people, they want something to happen. They need it to happen. They want another shooting. They want another catastrophe to happen so they can justify what they're doing. Whether we give that to them or not may or may not happen. But I do see something else happening, a shooting, whether it's the left or the right or whatever. I do see something like that happening again, and then more so, you know, as it turns into summer, and then possibly next year, and just it's going to get worse and worse and worse. The human life doesn't mean anything anymore to anybody, apparently, and this country is being overrun with people that hate America, and you need to understand that there's people in this country that want to destroy, and they have to destroy this country to have their agenda passed. And America is not just the land itself. It's a way of life. It's a mindset of freedom. And every day we lose a little bit more of it. Whether your state is enacting ridiculous laws or edicts or legislation, whatever, you need to start standing up for it. You need to start standing up and saying no against this stuff and letting your voice be heard. The reason the left is winning is because they're loud. That is it. There's more people on the right, but they don't want to get involved for whatever reason. And I'm not saying go hurt anybody or take action like that, like the left does, but there will be a point in time, the way I see things going, that will happen, unfortunately. So you need to be prepared for it. And like I said, take the storm for what it is. It's a storm. It's gonna melt. It's going to become springtime. You're all going to have a garden. You're going to get your chicken eggs. You're going to go to work, you know. But there will become a day when it's not just a snowstorm, to where it is going to be terrifyingly nerve-wracking to go to the store to get simple things, because people are going to be hungry and people are going to be starving, and they're going to do anything to feed their children. So just be prepared for that to happen. Look at it for the snowstorm. Everybody hoards, everybody buys and resell it. They don't care about their neighbor. They don't care about the elderly. They don't care about anybody but themselves. Not only that, but they're just so ill-prepared for anything to happen. What do you think they're going to do when something huge does happen, it's going to be 100 times worse. You need to understand that. You need to take responsibility for your family right now while it's somewhat okay. It's still terrifying outside with everything going on, of course, and be prepared for it and stay safe and carry some kind of defensive weapon, whatever that is. But just be smart about what's going on. Have a great day.